Hello, Crucible characters. We are not quite into WoW season yet, but I really wanted to crack open my Worlds Collide display in preparation for my trip to Philly in July, just in case there's a really good deck in here that I want to bring or something. And so, to go ahead and pump through it, we're going to open an entire display in this video. Go ahead and get this going here. I need to sharpen this or get another knife or something. I like the little katana here that I got, but it is very, very dull. Alrighty, so my plan for this video is we're gonna get into this display and I'm going to just open up every single deck. We'll open it up after I cut away here. Then I will go away and come back with the decks in order of the SAS. And I think we'll do a breakdown of each, or rather of the highest SAS deck and of the lowest SAS deck. Or not a breakdown, but we'll do a card reveal. And I'll talk about any key combos that I see out of both of those, because those will be the two most interesting, being the lowest and highest SAS. I'll do any honorable mentions if there's something crazy in between the two of them. And then if you guys want a breakdown, please just go into the comments and type out the name of whichever deck you want a breakdown of, and I'll start doing videos about breakdowns. There are a couple decks that I want to dig through from my collection already, and it would be cool to go through these as well. But I really wanted to dig into this display, so this video is really just an excuse to do that. But give me one moment and I'll be back to open all these up. Okay, so now we're here with the display. I went ahead and I went through and I made it so that they'll be easier to open. I haven't looked at anything and I put them right back in the same order. So here's a great test for the people who are kind of superstitious about the quality of the deck from where it is within the display. If you want to, feel free to keep track. Tell me which spot the highest SAS deck was in. I think that'd be really interesting. But I haven't seen anything, I didn't look at anything, I just made it so that this section will be a little bit quicker. We're just going to burst through it. I'm going to talk about any rares or specials, we're going to look at the houses, the Archon, the name, and then we'll keep going so we can get into that next section. So here we are with our very first, let's see, yes, so Worlds Collide opens like this, you don't have to flip it for the, like we did in Age of Ascension. Got a blue Archon here, Shadows Brobnar Untamed. The Brash Survivalist. This is the thing that we're gonna want to look out for Worlds Collide. We don't want any Brobnar. I think the perfect deck we're looking for is like a Dis, Logos, and either Saurian or Star Alliance. Those decks typically come out pretty strong. I'm gonna pull it away so I don't have to worry about QR code. See if there's anything special in here. Nothing crazy. We've got a Sneck Lifter, Guji Dinosaur, and then a Mega Gengar Chieftain with the Brew, but the Untamed doesn't seem to have anything particularly crazy. Some pretty simple stuff. And then here's that Archon for everybody curious. We'll move on to the next one. Next one here, we've got... These flaps will work for me. Red Archon, Dis is the first house. Shadows, Brobnar. Dang, Brobnar again, okay. Don't have a super good record, these first two. This plastic is chasing me. Hrothgar, the Warzone MacLeod. Interesting, interesting. Try and keep the glare down, see if we can get it to focus up. There we go, and let's see here. Okay, so no rares or anything special out of Dis. Why won't it focus? There we go. Our Brobnar has got a Cyber Giant Rig, and then another Mega Gengar Chieftain, and our Shadows has Sack of Coins, Ring of Invisibility, and Lethal Distraction. A couple of rares in there. Sorry if my framing in the camera isn't great, it's hard to see it from how I'm sitting. Next one, got a green Archon. We're looking at Saurian, Star Alliance. Brobnar, what is going on? Holy cow. Let's hope we didn't get a Brobnar display. Tinitrus, the Imperator Designer. Okay, that's an awesome name. Pretty cool looking Archon here. And let's see. We've got, oh man, we've got, let's see if we can get it to focus. We've got Pile of Skulls, War Grumpus, and then a Mega Shorty. And then we've got the Imperial Road in Saurian, Triple Science Officer Gwenkin, and a Garcia's Blaster with Psionic Officer Lang. Interesting, interesting. Okay. The top 3 were Brobnar. That means the rest of it's not, right? Let's see what we got here. Green Archon, Untamed, Brobnar Logos. What the heck? What are the odds of this? Okay. Sfinson the Compassionate. That's a good name. That Archon actually looks awesome too. Wow, okay. We got another Mega. We got a Mega Calphane here. In Logos, we've got a Micgel and a Universal Recycling Bin, and then we've got a Xenos Blood Shadow, which is a really cool rare. I'll actually put it on the screen here. It comes with Toad, which you'll also see, which we know because of its flavor text. Toad was actually once Prince Derek from Sanctum. Very, very funny stuff. Next deck, another Green Archon. This deck doesn't have Brobnar for sure. Saurian, Brobnar, Star Alliance. What the heck? Well, guys, I don't know what's going on here. We've got Tartomp Hallinson, the Wealthy and Iron. Interesting. And we've got for our cards in here, no Mega this time. We've got the Flora's Lava, City Gates, Grimlocust Ducks, and Kirby's Blaster. Interesting, interesting. Okay. On to our next one. We're looking at a Gray Archon, Saurian, Dis, Shadows, no Brobnar, we broke it, we're out. We've got, what's that, Mercury Yarnton of the Whirlpool, interesting. Pretty cool looking Archon. Then for our cards here, we've got a Thieves' Bane, which I believe is a Dis artifact against thief creatures, in Dis. Then we've got Triumph and Saurian, and Sack of Coins, and Selwyn the Fence in Shadows. It doesn't look like there's anything crazy going on in it. Don't have any like Golden Spiral silliness. Seems like just a decent deck. I'll start stacking them here. I'll put them in order. It might trail off the screen a little, I'm sorry. I'll rearrange them as I go if possible. And this one, we've got Gray Archon, Brobnar, Logos, Star Alliance. Okay, Logos, Star Alliance is good. We've got Oliva, Productive Pub Madre. Interesting. Wow, I don't know if it focused. That Archon looks awesome. Really cool Archon. You know, this will be one of those elusive, really good Brobnar houses. Let's see. We've got Forge Master Og and Signal Fire in Brobnar, Replicator, Universal Keylock in Logos, and then a Garcia's Blaster and an Ingram's Blaster. Very cool. Okay. And with that being said, I'm speeding through these, so if you guys see a powerful combo that I don't know about in Worlds Collide pop up in any of these decks and I don't mention it, please jump in and politely remind me in the comments, because I would love to see it. We've got the Red Archon, Shadows, Saurian, Brobnar. What is happening? Holy cow. I'm wondering if maybe I got this secondhand. Somebody dug in and really mixed it up. So we've got Soria the Steel, Shadows, Saurian, Brobnar. It's got a really cool looking Archon, 4 kind of crab claws combined to some sort of machine. Not sure if it's focusing. Really doesn't want to. It's not sure where to look. That's fine. Let's see. Okay, not bad. We've got a Iron Obelisk, a Spartasaur, and then a Lethal Distraction. Those are our 3 rares. 1 from each house. Double Burn the Fanatic, Runny Wrist Clocks, not bad. 2 Subtle Chains is okay. Just wish we had a way to kill those Ronnies. Very interesting. Okay. Paraguardian is probably one of my favorite creatures. Let's do this. I'm going to rearrange these super quick. so that they are in box order, and we'll just keep the most recent going off to the side here. Scoot this over some so we can keep these on the screen. Okay, we're getting down to the bottom 4 here. Blue Archon, Saurian Brobnar Shadows. We've got Master Epsizard, Hieronymus. That seems right. Really weird looking Archon here. And we've got a War Grumpus in Brobnar, Favor of Rex, and Imperial Forge. Favor of Rex is pretty good. In Saurian, and then no rares in Shadows. Interesting stuff. Okay. We'll stack these up, add them to our pile here. The last 3. This is where it is. This is going to have the dis. We got to will it into existence. We'll have a crazy dis pod in one of these. Blue Archon, Star Alliance, dis Shadows. Okay. Okay. Can't go wrong with this. This is Cathan Mr. Greedy Xanatos. That's centered up there. Really weird looking Archon. Kind of looks like maybe you're looking at the front of a spaceship or something. Maybe a Star Alliance ship. Let's see. Here's our deck list. Oh, we've got a ghost form in our dis. Oh, that's really cool. Ghost form. Is there anything in dis we really want to slap that on? Eon the Fringes isn't bad for a ghost form. Especially if our opponent has discards. And then we've got a Ring of Invisibility for Shadows. Let's see, I'm looking for any more like passive effect creatures. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any great targets out of house for that ghost form, but then Star Alliance, we've got Galactic Census, some Sensor Chief, some stealth modes. This could be really interesting. Okay, okay. First of the last 3 decks seems pretty good. We've got a yellow Archon here, don't think we've seen that yet. Dis, Shadows, Saurian, okay. Another good combination. We've got Carlo Ponderland, Cave Warden, Ponderolan. Strange. Very cool looking Archon here. A kind of angelic sort of, like a don't want to say anti-angel, it doesn't sound right, but like a Dis's version of an angel with those wings. Let's see. We've got in Dis no rares. We've got a Bornit Infernus. Some decent stuff in there. Then in Saurian we've got the City Gates. And in Shadows we've got Key of Darkness and the Quiet Anvil. Interesting. We've got the Hit and Run is pretty good, but no crazy play effects. Hugger Mugger is not bad. Really very interesting. Okay. Alright. Last one. Got hope for something big from this guy. So, Orange Archon, I believe. First house is Brobnar, Dis, Saurian. A lot of Brobnar in this display. Holy cow. Oglagai of the Artisan's Palace. Okay. Hold that up a little closer. Oglagai of the Artisan's Palace. Interesting looking Archon here. Oh, well, it is my first Igon the Green deck with Igon the Terrible. And we've got Old Boomy. Nothing crazy out of Dis. Just typical combos. And then Saurian, we've got... Sorry about that. There is an Axiom of Grisk, which is pretty good. Interesting. Okay. Well, give me just a moment. I'm going to reorganize these based off of SAS. I'm going to get them all put in. We're going to take a look at them, get them out of these plastic wraps. And then I will be right back with you all, and we'll do a quick look through of everything. Thank you guys. Give me 1 second. And here we are now with all of the decks laid out before us. I've got them organized by SAS. I will go ahead. Here they are. Beneath each deck, you'll see its SAS score. Our lowest was I, Hrothgar, the Warzone Mathlete, with a 51 sass. And the highest was the Cathene Mr. Gritty Xanatos at 73. I was pleasantly surprised with some of these. We've got 9 of our 12 decks with Brobnar in it. And there are some decks that it very clearly kind of smacked down the sass score with the Brobnar. It really stinks that we got so much of it from Worlds Collide. But that's okay. You get what you got. We will go ahead and start getting into this. I do have one honorable mention before we get to the card reveal for the lowest sass and highest sass with Soria the Steel, which actually ended up with a 71 sass, our second highest deck. Sorry about the glare for these. I covered that up, but we'll cover it with my thumb anyhow. It's actually pretty high up there. The Brobnar didn't bring it down because it looks like it only got some of its best pieces. The Iron Obelisk is pretty big, and then the Ronnie Wrist Clocks with the double Brend, and the Saurian is actually fantastic in this one. The Legatus Raptors kind of stink, but you could get something going with them. But double Library Polysaurus, a Tribute, a Tricerian Legionary, Senator Shrix, Paraguardian, Perfectus Ludo, those all kind of work together pretty well. So it's interesting. It actually, because of the specific cards that we got out of Brobnar, stayed up pretty high. So I wanted to bring that up. We also had another Brobnar up in the top tier, and then the 2 non-Brobnar directly behind them. But we'll go ahead and clear these out of the way as we get ready to show you all of the cards in these last 2. Pretty interesting decks. The very lowest sass is where we'll start, so we can show off some cool stuff with the top sass. You kind of see why things come out the way that they do, is why I want to look at this. I think assessing low sass and high sass are both really important. So we'll take the deck list there, set it aside. I'm doing this at a different height than usual, so it'll be interesting to see if we can get it going. I've got to slouch a little. So we're starting off with Shadows. We've got the Sack of Coins. I'm not going to read all of the cards, but I will pause for a second, give you a chance to pause and read them, since we're just doing quick breakdowns. So there's the Sack of Coins, Ring of Invisibility, Lethal Distraction, Subtle Maul is decent, repeatable Disruption. Simon is a mediocre card. Double Kymor Eclipse. Triple, rather. 1 Hawk, which is a decent card. Breaker Hill. Double Bad Penny in this one, which is not great. That really messes up our speed. And then we've got Soul Keeper. Another Soul Keeper. Snag. Poltergeist. Obsidian Forge. Bornet, Not Finished With You, Imp Spectre, Festering Touch, Exhume, Dendrix, and then we're into Brobnar. We've got the Chieftain's Brew, Mega Gengar Chieftain, Cyber Giant Rig, Gargantus Scrapper, Fire Breath, Warrior's Refrain, Shorty again, Narp, the dreaded Narp, Gron Nine Toes, Cowfane, Alaka. So interesting. The best thing that you can really get out of this house is going to be in Dis. There's a lot of repeatable stuff with the Imp Spectre at first look. Let's see, where is it? So you have the Imp Spectre out, right? You can hit it with a Festering Touch, and then, you know, it's gone. You got 2 Amber, you purge a card from your opponent's hand, then you can Exhume it, return it straight to the play. Then if you've already got Obsidian Forge on the field there, you can action it to kill your Imp Spectre. I actually really love actioning Obsidian Forge just to get destroyed effects off, because if it doesn't sacrifice itself if you don't forge a key with it. So if Inspector is just around to be destroyed, you could do that. And then you could hit the not finished with you. Shuffle it back into your deck, and then hopefully you have something like Bornit already out so that you could reap with it, Poltergeist to get some artifacts gone, and then the double Soul Keeper, if you're able to slap that onto Inspector both times, it could get some big removal. There's not enough efficiency for you to have all of these cards in your hand at once, but that's the most effective thing I think you could kind of pull out of this deck. The problem is that its Amber control is really, really low. There's only one way to control Amber in this deck, and it's through Breaker Hill, who makes it so that his neighbors can action steal one, and that's the only Amber control. So it's real bad at that. It's expected Amber, and everything else is pretty mediocre. The artifact control is decent, but that's all you can really get out of it. Set that to the side, and we'll look at our high sass here. Hope you guys are having fun. I might do another display like this in the future. Let me know in the comments if you liked this video, because if so, I can do more of them. We've got Winds of Exchange coming up, so I've got a lot of other plans, but I can pump out other displays from previous sets if you would like to see them. So we're here now with our highest sass deck. Let me pull it up. It was 70 something, 73. So nothing crazy. The highest sass came from Star Alliance, which I think makes a lot of sense. Its expected Amber was pretty good, and it does have scaling Amber control from Too Much to Protect. I also really like this deck because it has the Ghost form in it. So starting in Star Alliance, we've got our Galactic Census here, our Xeno Training, CXO Tabor, Zap, we've got double those. Stealth Mode, some good disruption, we've got double those. Sensor Chief Garcia, double those. Light of the Archon, some great creature protection. Comm Officer Kirby for efficiency and out-of-house plays. Cloaking Dongle to give creature protection. So a very good Star Alliance. A lot of Amber gain, a lot of out-of-house play, a lot of creature control, or general disruption. Now we're looking at our shadows here. We've got Ring of Invisibility. We've got Whisper, which is some pretty good targeted creature removal. Too Much to Protect, which is a huge part of this deck in its sass. Subtle Chain for more disruption. Umbra. Trust No One if we can get one, maybe multiple steals off. Mug. Kymor Eclipse. Inky Gloom. Two of those. Hugger Mugger. And that is our shadows. It's decent. It's got a good amount of steal, a lot of disruption. Nothing too crazy coming out of there, but that Ring of Invisibility could work well with the Light of the Archons from Star Alliance. And then we've got Indis, E on the Fringes, which is probably one of our best targets for the Ghost form, just because of its passive effect. Then we've got Bornit, really good purge. Bloodshard Imp, a great way to self-sack certain creatures. Rot Grub, some great Amber control from Rot Grub. Lethal for capturing. Imp Spectre for more disruption. Two of those, great with Bloodshard Imp if we can play both those and then on next turn play Bloodshard Imp. We've got Exhume to return some of those. Eterome, Binding Irons, and our Ghost form, which I'll get real close here. Very, very cool anomaly, which will probably be coming out in the set Grim Reminders. Makes the most sense if you ask me. Super, super cool. Glad that this is my first one and it's in my current favorite house. The combos in there I kind of already talked through. Star Alliance combos into itself with out-of-house plays and stuff like that. I think the big thing is just sacking the Imp Specters with Bloodshard Imp and then exhuming either Imp Spectre or Rot Grub to get more Amber control out of a turn. I think having 4 upgrades is really nice since one of them is Light of the Archons. If we can slap that onto the creature with Ghost Form, just get them nice and big, although I don't think it would matter since the Ghost Form would proc with the destruction and stuff like that. But super interesting. The Light of the Archons and other stuff like that might be great on a Sensor Chief Garcia or a Comm Officer Kirby to keep them active for a while. So this is definitely not a bad deck. I think just because it has that Ghost Form, I'll probably be playing with it pretty soon. But that was it. I just wanted to hop in here, get this display open in case it had anything real crazy I could bring to a tournament. I don't think any of this is tournament ready, but it's not bad. Worlds Collide is one of my favorite sets if you don't get a bunch of Brobnar. So it stinks that we got 9, but that's okay. Again, I'm hoping I'm piling up all my bad luck now so that once we get to Winds of Exchange, you guys will see some really crazy stuff. But like I said, if you want to see more like this, just let me know. I've got that Coda display that I might pop open today just for myself, but if I don't, I can do a video like this for it. Or, you know, I can always go and buy another one for a video. So if you like this, let me know. If you want to see any deck reviews, like in-depth breakdowns of the individual spots, and if I'm doing a video that's just a deck review, I can lay out combos, draw a practice hand, we can talk a lot more about it. But that's the video. I hope you guys are excited for Winds of Exchange and stuff like that, and I will see you in the next one. And remember, as Zach Armstrong always says, the most important part of Keyforge is the person sitting across the table. You guys have a great rest of your day.